In the infinite dark sea of space beyond the last whisper of sunlight, a lone traveler drifts silently. It is not a spaceship crewed by astronauts nor a probe with a return ticket. It's Voyager 2, an old but persistent messenger launched by humanity nearly 5 decades ago. Most people believe that after crossing the boundary of our solar system, it simply became a silent observer, whispering back signals from the edge of the void. But now, something has changed. Voyager 2 has seen something that was never supposed to move, something that wasn't supposed to be there. For years, its journey through the interstellar medium had been uneventful, just particles, magnetic fields, and cosmic silence. Until the silence broke. A motion, deliberate and unmistakable, was caught drifting in the darkness, something moving with purpose. And when scientists on Earth decoded the strange anomalies Voyager 2 transmitted, a chilling realization began to settle over them. What we feared deep down might actually be true. Voyager 2 had long passed the planets, past Neptune, past Pluto, past the heliopause, the invisible line where our sun's influence fades and interstellar space begins. Out there, it was expected to drift quietly, picking up minor fluctuations in space dust and solar radiation. But instead, it picked up movement, the kind of movement that doesn't happen by chance. At first, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory noticed what they thought was a blip in the plasma wave data, a spike that lasted only seconds. These instruments are incredibly sensitive and usually report on changes in particle densities or interactions with magnetic fields. But this time, the signal carried a strange signature. It pulsed in a rhythm. It wasn't just data, it felt like a pattern, not natural, not random. Engineers assumed it was interference, perhaps a glitch caused by cosmic rays or system degradation. After all, Voyager 2 is nearly 50 years old. But when the same signal repeated with increased strength, they knew something was wrong, or perhaps very right, because the data wasn't noise, it was a broadcast. Voyager 2 had seen something and it had recorded it. When the data was cleaned and analyzed, something emerged that sent a ripple through the scientific community. There was an object approximately 500,000 km from the probe, moving at a velocity inconsistent with any known natural body in that region. No asteroid belts, no rogue planets, no expected comets. And yet this thing, whatever it was not just drifting, it was tracking. Its direction of movement followed the same vector that Voyager 2 was traveling. Its speed adjusted slightly, mimicking Voyager's trajectory. Like a predator stalking silently in the wake of prey, it adjusted its movement just enough to stay in range, but not enough to provoke suspicion. NASA scientists weren't alone in their panic. Independent astronomers and military observers, including those involved in deep space tracking, were pulled in. They confirmed it. It wasn't a malfunction. The plasma density readings, the magnetometer anomalies, even slight fluctuations in the probe's gyroscopic data all pointed to one conclusion: Voyager 2 had company, and that company might not be benign. The most terrifying revelation came not from what Voyager 2 saw, but from what it sent back. A radio frequency burst, piggybacked onto the regular telemetry feed, contained a digital signal that had no origin in Voyager's systems. It wasn't programmed to send this, but it did. When decrypted, the data packet contained a series of binary strings that, when plotted visually, formed patterns almost like glyphs. Not natural cosmic waves, not background noise. These were constructed deliberately. Some liken them to crop circle geometry, others to symbols seen in early human history: spirals, intersections, recursive loops. A group of AI linguists and astrophysicists ran the data through contextual analysis algorithms. The results were horrifying. The structure of the signal matched what one would expect from an intentional transmission, not from Voyager but from something else. Something that had either hijacked or embedded itself into the signal stream. Whether it was a warning or a message, no one could say. But the implications were clear: Voyager 2 wasn't alone in deep space. And what it encountered had noticed us back. The scientific community is divided. Some argue this is the evidence we've been waiting for, proof we're not alone. Others are far less optimistic, fearing surveillance or a prelude. For decades, thoughts of extraterrestrial life were mostly tied to exoplanet discoveries and faint signals from distant stars. But this was close. And it wasn't passive. What made this discovery even more chilling was the timing. Similar anomalies had been observed in Voyager 1's data months earlier but were dismissed as static interference. Now, those readings are being re-examined in a new light. And many believe we've been too blind, too arrogant to consider the most terrifying explanation, that someone or something has been watching us longer than we dared to admit, and now they've made contact. As Voyager 2's instruments continued gathering data, the Deep Space Network received an unfiltered stream of electromagnetic readings, frequencies oscillating in patterns never encountered before. Analysts initially thought it was interference, cosmic rays, background fluctuations, but when they isolated and enhanced the waveforms, what emerged stunned them, a structured sequence pulsing with mathematical precision, almost as if it were artificial. Scientists ran a Fourier analysis. What they saw mirrored the base harmonic frequencies of hydrogen, but inverted, a deliberate alteration of the universe's most abundant element. The signal wasn't just noise. It was trying to speak. The team cross-referenced the signal's path with Voyager 2's trajectory only to discover that the movement had shifted. It wasn't random, it was tracking the probe. Digging through archives, a NASA intern uncovered decades-old telemetry from Voyager 1. When comparing the data, a disturbing alignment appeared. Voyager 1 had experienced a similar anomaly in the same region of interstellar space. The disruption had been dismissed as static. In hindsight, it looked like a first encounter. Modern AI-powered decoding revealed the waveform matched the current event almost perfectly. This was no coincidence. Something or someone was waiting in the void, and it had encountered both Voyager probes. The implication: this was not the first time we had been noticed. Precise modeling showed the anomaly's motion didn't follow gravitational arcs like a comet or asteroid. Instead, its trajectory bent unnaturally, as if warping spacetime to remain hidden. Every simulation failed to replicate its path using known physics. Worse still, it seemed able to accelerate and decelerate at will, hovering on the edge of visibility, just beyond the reach of optical instruments. NASA scientists described its behavior as reactive. It moved only in response to Voyager's transmissions. Was it listening, learning, or avoiding detection? Some began to ask the unsettling question. What if Voyager 2 didn't just discover this object? What if it provoked it? Although visually elusive, the probe's magnetometer registered rapid magnetic flux changes, shifts so sharp they suggested active manipulation of electromagnetic fields. Around the world, conspiracy theories ignited, claiming Voyager 2 had made contact with an interstellar intelligence. But it wasn't only theories. A former JPL engineer leaked an internal report suggesting the anomaly's field disruptions resembled torus-shaped energy distortions similar to those predicted by theoretical Alcubierre drives, warp fields capable of folding spacetime itself. Had Voyager stumbled upon something far beyond human understanding? The energy patterns were not fading, they were intensifying, and every pulse, every wave hinted at one truth: we are not alone, and we never were. Back on Earth, something even more chilling began. Radio telescopes in Chile, Australia, and South Africa detected faint but repeating echoes of the same distorted frequency Voyager 2 had recorded. These echoes were buried beneath cosmic background radiation, but they shared one alarming characteristic: they pulsed in perfect synchrony with Voyager 2's transmission delays. It was as if something was mirroring the probe's activity. Analysts called this the phantom pulse. Attempts to triangulate the source failed, but one fact became undeniable: this wasn't a localized anomaly. Whatever was out there had found a way to project its presence across vast regions of space simultaneously. The pattern wasn't just intelligent, it was strategic, designed to be noticed only once humanity was ready.